Welcome to Circular Talks by Ccrave, your platform for circular goods and guidance in fashion, home, and lifestyle. In this episode, we're excited to welcome Eva and Lander from Honest, according Elle magazine, the most sustainable jeans of the world. Today's episode focuses on design for recyclability as a theme. We discuss why it's important to choose circular jeans over a traditional linear model. We explore the design pillar related to circularity and why it's important to create jeans that can be recycled even afterwards. We explore the production process of a recyclable denim and why Honest collected already more than 17,000 old pair of jeans. And finally, why the idea of transparency for a circular fashion brand is an absolute necessity. Discover how you can save 6,639 liters of water. Don't forget to sign up for our newsletter to keep tuned with the next episodes and much more. So without further ado, let's welcome Eva and Lander to the Circular Talks. Welcome by Circular Talks. I have two very interesting people here today at my table because they work both for Honest, and Honest is claimed by Elle magazine as the most sustainable jeans of the world. So that's a very strong claim. So I'm very excited also to understand why Elle comes with such a big claim about Honest jeans. So welcome Eva and Lander. Eva, what is your function here at Honest Jeans?
I'm in charge of everything that relates to product, production, and sustainability. So I make sure that we make jeans, we make them in time, we make them in the most sustainable way possible.
Okay. And Lander?
I'm responsible for Honest.
So the two key persons at Honest here around the table. So why did we choose Honest? We think that Honest is really a front runner in understanding that the design process is so important also with circular products. So maybe to start, first of all, why should we choose a circular jeans and not go for a linear one?
Yeah, the problems with traditional or linear jeans are numerous. I think there's a lot of them. Just maybe the biggest issues. First off, one of the biggest issues is water consumption. Mm-hmm. To create a traditional pair of jeans, a linear pair of jeans, you need a lot of virgin cotton. Mm-hmm. And due to inefficient farming techniques and irrigation techniques, this cotton requires a lot of water, resulting in a water consumption of 7,000 liters to produce only one pair of jeans.
7,000 liters.
7 plus 3 zeros.
Wow, and what's the equivalent of 7,000 liters? Is it like, I don't know, how many swimming pools?
An Olympic swimming pool is 2.5 million liters,
Okay.
So it's a bit difficult to compare, but it's 9 years of drinking.
Okay, wow.
It's 9 years of drinking
wow.
water.
That's quite impressive.
For one person.
For one
average
person.
person would consume over a period of 9 years.
So you say it's the water consumption is one of the key metrics issues. Also too, or the key issues. Yeah. Are there other issues that you tackle with the circular jeans?
Yeah, the linear jeans or traditional jeans also it requires a lot of chemicals, pesticides, herbicides. To give you an indication, around 15% of the global pesticide and herbicide consumption is solely for the cultivation of cotton.
Okay, so less pesticides, less water, something else what you could do by choosing for circular jeans?
For purely circular jeans, I think chemicals, and a lot of chemicals are being used to create the jeans. You have the dyeing process where you will dye the cotton with the indigo powder. Mm-hmm. Indigo powder is a powder which is very difficult to work with. So with a normal pair of jeans, they have to reduce the powder to make sure that it fixates on the yarn. I think that's one specific step, and then the other is the washes. Every jeans in origin has the same color, that's that indigo blue color, and then the different shades of blue, black, whatever, they are created with chemicals that make sure that the color fades away. So there are some difficulties as well.
So the innovation comes on one hand from the design process, because I think also on how you design the jeans also there are removable buttons or they're unscrewable. So of course you have the cotton, but then of course you have also all the other side accessories of the jeans. How did you solve that?
Yeah, the main issue, of course, with the linear production chain or the linear value chain of jeans is that the majority of the jeans that you can find in store today, they aren't designed for a circular lifestyle. So you have a lot of elements that make it very difficult or even impossible to recycle these jeans. And we know this because our production process starts with collecting jeans from other brands. Mm-hmm. So we've really seen with our own eyes which elements make it difficult to recycle these pairs of jeans. And very specifically, you can envision those elements as being rivets, metal rivets that you can find at the corners of your pockets, buttons, embroidery, but also stretch. A lot of people like jeans to be stretchy, but unfortunately these stretchy fibers come from synthetic fibers that needs to be blended with virgin natural fibers. And blending these two types of fibers creates also difficulties for them to be recycled at the end of life. And often when you go to high percentage of stretch, it's almost impossible even to recycle the jeans.
So none of the jeans that you have designed are stretchable. They are loose fits, or is wearing a circular jeans also accepting that jeans shouldn't be stretchable?
Currently, today, our jeans do not contain stretch because from the innovations that are available in terms of recyclable stretch, and so that would mean it must be recyclable, but it must also be biodegradable. Shouldn't shed microplastics. So there's a lot of challenges that come together in the stretch fibers. So currently, what we see on the market and the innovations that we are keeping an eye on, they are not ready yet, or they don't meet our standards in terms of sustainability or circularity. But this market is developing very quickly, and we're also moving and working with tests and seeing really, okay, is this something we can work with? And so we want to, in the near future, also introduce a truly circular jeans which stretch. But from what we're seeing today, it's not possible yet.
But we're already very happy with the models that you have now, of course. So you said also, every jeans is made out of old jeans. So you collected jeans from other brands. Can you say that Honest Jeans, it's like a mix of all kind of different brands of jeans that have been recycled, have been reproduced in a new, authentic Honest Jeans? Is that how it works?
For 56%, the answer is yes.
Okay.
So what we do is once a year we collect all jeans, and it's actually jeans from our competition, let's say. We sort them out on 3 levels. We have a level which is perfectly wearable. That's something that we will give away to charity. We have a level of jeans which is polluted. So think of people did a renovation with it. It's full of white paint stains, oil, I don't know. They worked on their car. So that's something that we can't recycle anymore. That's downcycled. But we also, and that's what Eva mentioned, have the stretch story. So from a specific percentage of stretch, we will not recycle the jeans anymore because it will pollute our end product in the end. So that's a sortation that we do, and around 50% of jeans that we collect is worn out and not polluted, and that's actually the basic material where we start with. So we will blend
and you complement, so you're 56%, so you complement with organic cotton, or how do you complement?
So first we recycle those old jeans into fibers, so recycled cotton fibers. These will then be blended with tencel. In Belgium we do this step of the process, which is very unique also to do this still in Belgium. So we will spin a yarn that is 50% recycled cotton from these jeans, recycled denim, and then 50% tencel. This yarn will then go to Italy, where it's combined with another yarn into a fabric. And the yarn that is used there contains recycled cotton from Italy that's coming from spinning waste and weaving waste, and virgin cotton from Greece.
Okay.
And it's coming from a farm that is transitioning to become organic certified. So it ticks all the boxes, and they're transitioning to.
So you're really a motor of innovation, in fact, on different levels also, if I see. Because also, of course, we are also based in Portugal. I saw that you work also with seamstresses in Portugal. What do they do exactly?
So then when the fabric is created in Italy, it will go to Portugal, and there it will be transformed from fabric into jeans. and it will also be washed. And as Lander mentioned, in the traditional production process of jeans, a lot of chemicals and a lot of water is used to create different shades of blue. So lighter shades will require more heavy chemicals, etc.
Right.
And here we use innovation or very innovative or alternative processes to create different colors, but then minus the chemicals and the negative environmental impact and social impact as well, because that's also a very important element.
Yes.
So we will use, for example, laser or ozone processes to create lighter shades of blue, but then minus the harmful substances.
Yeah, and where we still need chemicals, we use technologies where we can actually reduce those chemicals by 95%.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a big game changer.
Yeah.
For sure. So everything made in Europe also.
Yeah.
So local production
Definitely.
also very important. I think it's also interesting that you highlight the social fairness component, because not everybody knows that it's under circularity also. That of course social fairness makes also part of it. But you go even further. You have even closed the loop program. A certain moment you can give your jeans back. How does it work? What do you do when you had honest jeans? You say, okay, I want to have another model, I want to get rid of it. How do you tackle that problem?
So in every honest jeans there is a deposit of €15 actually. So when an end consumer buys a product, they pay €15 deposit, and from the moment their jeans is worn out, they can ship it back to us. Okay. And from the moment we receive it, we give them a voucher of €15 to buy a new honest jeans. And that's the idea, to actually close the loop and make sure that our product, and we take our responsibility as a brand to make sure that our product doesn't become landfill or isn't being incinerated, because
I think a lot of brands can be inspired, or companies, just by taking responsibility and say, okay, I really want to include the end of life cycle of my product in the whole strategy and how we afterwards. So yes, other brands listen well, good. Something to learn from us. And then your motto is nothing to hide. So tell me a little bit maybe more about your brand itself. What Honest stands for, and
honest transparency is of course very, very important. I think it's if you should be transparent as a company, and definitely when you're using words as sustainability and circularity and so forth, because it's becoming it are becoming actually words that are polluted as well due to greenwashing techniques from other brands. So what does it mean to be sustainable? What does it mean to be circular? And we choose to be very transparent about every process of our jeans, so that the consumer can discover for themselves whether we're not sustainable, whether we're not circular. And that's a bit the full idea. I always say, when you're not transparent, you have something to hide. And why must you hide something? That's a bit the whole idea behind it.
I think I've never learned so much also about jeans, the jeans process, just by studying also your brand, because you are so clear and so detailed. So it's, for me also, it enhances the credibility, of course, as a brand. The more openness, the more transparency, and you included it in your brand name even. So maybe as a last question also, Honest at the moment is more a denim brand. Do you have other plans, other products? How do you want? Because I think the whole philosophy and everything what you do, you could apply it in other products than just jeans. How do you?
That's correct. We see ourselves as an apparel brand, and we started with denim because in denim, all the challenges from just, let's say, the average apparel that consumers have at home come together, and you have the dyeing process, you have the rivets, all those elements that are not mono-material and that make it hard to recycle. But for example, so we did around 3 years to develop these circular jeans. We just launched t-shirts, and we did like 3 months to create those, and they're as circular as our jeans. So jeans was the most difficult step to take, but we definitely want to expand to other product categories within the apparel market. So t-shirts are coming up. We're working on shirts, and so forth. Yeah.
So definitely a brand to watch, I think, Honest. So I want to thank you both for your explanations, your transparency, also in highlighting. So I can only say to everybody, check it out, Honest, and show how they have nothing to hide, and how you really can learn why the only choice is circular jeans from Honest. So thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you very much, Vincent.